we're becoming defensive stalwarts, right? Gee whiz. Man, golly. This win right here is one of those wins we won't get enough credit for. It's a good win against a very solid team. We had to play there. It's one of those teams, they make you play their way. And it's not the way we like to play. So we played their way, and we beat them playing their way. So I'm really proud of our guys. Our defense was terrific. We gave them 5 points at the end of the game. We let the guy drive in for a layup and left the best shooter on the floor open for a 3. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe there's a couple less points on that board. But I thought our defense was terrific. Our guys were locked in. We knew the toughest team on the floor was going to win the game. We were the toughest team. I'm really, really proud of our guys. And we had every chance to get a little frustrated with our offense in the first half, and we didn't. We stayed positive. We relied on our defense. We knew we'd start making some shots. We had a little burst in the second half that got us through. So that's a real good one. This team's going to finish first or second in their league probably, and maybe win it and go to the NCAA tournament again. So we're really happy with that win.
Were you expecting this kind of defensive surge, getting Devin in there in these games?
Well, for today or just in general?
The last 3 games.
Well, we knew that Devin would make us a better defensive team. He's a big person. He takes up space. He's got good instincts. He's active. As he gets in better and better shape, I think he'll foul less. He's still trying a little too hard out there. He's doing some things he should not be doing. But I'd like to give him the benefit of that. I think he wants to do the right things. He's just not. But he makes us better, and he, it's one of those subliminal things where you realize, what, I got this big guy behind me now. If I make a little bit of a mistake, Devin's back there and he can help me out. So.
Do you think that's helping you guys with the perimeter defense?
Yeah, of course they could see he's a big presence, so we could get up in them with more confidence that we have help.
Joe, can you talk a little about this guy's kind of evolution from a shooter to a scorer? You look at his field goal percentage now, and it's way up there. He's pushing 50% now after today, and shooting less, scoring just as much, if not more than last year.
I kind of said that to Mace after the game when we were doing that little TV thing, and Mace has been very, very efficient. You want your scorers to be aggressive. Like these 2 guys are perfect examples. I don't know, like John Wooden used to say, you don't treat everybody exactly the same because everybody's different. These 2 guys, they really do have a little more of a leash to go and try to make some plays because they're our most talented guys. They're our best scorers. So we want them to be a little more aggressive than, not to mention any names, but 2 or 3 names on that in that scorebook because they can do so many things. And at the same time, you want to make good plays. So both these guys have been very, very efficient. Mace has been incredibly efficient, and he knows and is showing us all that he scores points all kinds of ways. Gets to the foul line for a few, has a driving layup, knocks a 3 down here and there, pulls up for jump shots. So there's a lot of ways to get on the board, and he did it today.
Have you changed this year at all? With purpose? Are things different? It seems like you do penetrate, maybe use your strength a little bit more, and then that opens things up for the outside as well.
Yeah, in the summer working out with my dad, we actually sat down, watched some tape of me from previous years, and just looked at what was positive, what was negative, and I'm just working on that.
The play that stuck out to me too was like 7 minutes remained. You were up 10. Klein got the rebound, kicked it out to you in front of the bench, and instead of taking that shot, which was there,
right.
Passed it off, worked it over,
right.
He ended up in the opposite corner, and that's when he made the 4-point play.
Right, and I think that speaks to having a good feel for the game, knowing that at that point in time we got to get it. The clock's more important than the shot there. We're going to get that shot down the road. So that's what the good players do. They make good decisions, and guys, anybody that makes a bad decision out there, it's not because they want to make a bad decision. It's because they don't realize they're making a bad one. Like we got a couple freshmen out there that are doing that right now, and so that speaks maybe the difference between being a freshman and a sophomore. Maybe last year Mason would have taken that shot. This year he realizes, what? I'll get this shot on the other side of the floor down the road. This wasn't the right time to take it. Let me get the ball to Juan'ya, and let's get a good one.
Juan'ya, what was the difference for you guys offensively in the 2 halves?
Just being more efficient in the second half. We was shooting we wasn't shooting bad in the first half, but the second half we kind of slowed down and let them get back into the game, and I think that helped us.
Joe, what do we call your defense? Is it a matchup zone?
We play man-to-man today.
Well,
yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you did play some.
Yeah.
It's...
Mason's kind of right. Like it's good that you can't tell what it is. It's good that you can't tell. Now the problem is sometimes we don't know. We're just out there scrambling around. So, but we talked with these guys about the next best action. So, if you get a little screwed up, and we do this drill every day. That's really a hard drill. It's called Florida Scramble, where 4 guys got to guard 5. And it makes it, when you get in the game, it's 5-on-5. It gives you that feeling you can do it. So.
Was that an answer?
There probably isn't, because it's a direct answer. But what would we call our defense? I don't know. A little bit of man, a little bit of zone.
This was a return game from the bracket buster last year. They announced that's not going to be going forward. How do you feel about that affecting you scheduling-wise?
Well, there are positives about the bracket buster and negatives. The positives are, if you're good, you're on TV. I mean, we had Illinois State game on ESPN a few years ago. There was nothing like that. The place was electric. And it was on national TV, and we get them. There's nothing like that. It's a chance for our league to get on TV if you're good enough. And I think we had 2 years that we did that, which is terrific. It assures you of a home game every other year, which is hard to get here. Nobody wants to come here and play. But there's a lot of negatives too. Like we had to play Liberty, we had to play Appalachian State, we had to play. I think they just say, "What's the worst trip? We'll give it to Niagara." So. And that's a tough thing to do in a Middle East. When you play those games in February, and if it's not on TV, and it's not an incredibly meaningful game, you sometimes don't. You get that weird feeling like, man, we should be playing a league game today. We should be playing Iona or Siena, not Central Michigan. So.
What about the addition of 2 teams added to the conference?
I don't think I'm supposed to comment on that right now, so I'm going to have to defer. I'm just saying, let's talk about it later on. We've been asked by the people upstairs just to hold off on it. So.
Mason, you're playing against some former teammates out there. What was that like for you?
It's fun. It's bragging rights. Come back home in the summer. We talk about who won, stats. It's just fun to compete with players that you played in high school with.